Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my personal opinions on the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10. Now, this is a series on my channel that's less about the technical side of things, where I break down every single element, and more so about my straight up, brutally honest opinion on a product. Of course, you guys do seem to be enjoying this series, so if you do want to see it continue happen on the channel, be sure to leave your suggestions down below in the comment section for which shoes you'd like to see featured next. So, Nike Mercurial Vapor 10, what do I honestly think of this shoe? This is, in my opinion, a best-in-class type of product, meaning that for what it has to offer in terms of feel, nothing does it better. And I'm going to circle back to that in just a second. Now, I will say right off the bat, I think the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10 is an absolutely fantastic shoe. Is it for me personally? Not really. I tend to prefer something with a more padded feel to the upper. Natural leather is a little bit better in my opinion. Just again, based on what I like personally. I'm a big fan of the Legend 5, and this is kind of the exact opposite of that shoe, but it's a shoe that is so well executed, even though it's not something that I generally tend to prefer. It's a shoe that I really do enjoy wearing. Is it going to be the shoe that I pick up to wear straight into a game? Probably not. But like I said, for fun and a practice, and again, if you just want something that is extremely thin, the closest thing you can get to playing barefoot, the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10 provides that feel better than anything else out there on the market, including the Superfly 4, which is a shoe that has really overshadowed the Vapor 10 ever since its initial release, since they kind of released at the exact same time. A lot of people view the Superfly 4 as the top end model and the Vapor 10 as somewhat of a takedown. That is not the case at all. It's simply two different, very different, I should say, variations of Mercurial. The Superfly 4 is kind of its own thing. It's unique for very many different ways. It's obviously the more innovative of the two shoes, but again, it doesn't really speak to kind of what Mercurials have been ever since they were first created, whereas the Vapor 10 is truly classic Mercurial, but just a little bit more refined. I'll make the argument that the Vapor 10 is the most comfortable Nike Mercurial Vapor that Nike has ever put out, which is a really, really positive aspect of this shoe. For something that fits really tight to your foot, leaving pretty much no extra space inside the shoe anywhere, comfort is something that can generally take a bit of a hit. I know a lot of people with the Vapor 8 and the Vapor 9 found them very stiff, especially at first, and for that reason slightly uncomfortable. This still has that very tight kind of slim silhouette and feel to it on your feet. But because of this new synthetic they've incorporated, or a different variation of the same synthetic, I should say, as well as a new sole plate and stud pattern design, this one is a lot more flexible and really requires no break-in time. It's more just a matter of getting used to how they feel, and that's a very positive thing, because the Mercurial line, while it's always had that nice tight one-to-one fit, it hasn't always been the most comfortable. But with the Vapor 10, like I said, no issues with comfort whatsoever. The upper is extremely thin. It's Asian synthetic, really has no extra padding to it whatsoever. It's not the thinnest in terms of what you can buy right now. I would say the only thing that's going to be a little bit thinner is the Puma Evo Speed 1.4 SL, but those don't last very long. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a lot more durable than that shoe, but still provide equally as good of a barefoot feel, Vapor 10, like I said, is definitely your best option. You get a truly kind of one-to-one sensation. It wraps your foot perfectly. There's no extra space inside the shoe, and it has this one-piece design, which some people don't like, which I can understand why, and the main reason why that is because when they put these on and tie them tight, they'll find that the center part actually folds in on itself, which is something that I personally have not experienced with a pair of Vapor 10s. Most of the time when that does happen, it is a sizing issue where people are actually wearing them in a size that is too big for them, which leads to extra width, which leads to the center part folding over. Of course, there are certain situations as well where you do have the correct size and it still folds in on itself. I have experienced this not with the Vapor 10, but with a pair of TechCraft Hypervenom finishes, and I found that yes, it's a little bit annoying when you look down at your feet, but even though it is folded over, it's not something that I really noticed when I was actually playing in the shoe. So it's more of a visual inconvenience as opposed to something that's actually going to have a direct impact on the performance and feel of the shoe. So if that's something that really bothers you, then yeah, maybe the Vapor 10 is something to just stray away from. But like I said, if the tongue folds over in on itself just a little bit. It's not something that is going to have a major impact on your experience with this particular shoe. They're very, very lightweight, almost a full ounce lighter than the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4. It features a sole plate that is obviously not carbon fiber, but in all honesty feels exactly the same on foot as well as in hand in terms of flexibility and just general feel. And of course, it has the exact same stud pattern as the rest of the new Mercurial lineup. So again, you're getting all the top-end performance elements you would expect from a top-end shoe, because this is a top-end model at the end of the day. And like I said, if you're looking for a more classic Mercurial experience, a shoe that kind of lives up and has some kind of a relation to all past Mercurial models, that's what the Vapor 10 is all about, whereas a Superfly 4, like I said, is kind of its own thing. If you want something completely different with some Mercurial-esque elements to it, yeah, Superfly 4 definitely the way to go. But if you want, like I said, the more true barefoot, responsive, tight Mercurial type of feel, the Vapor 10 is definitely the shoe to go for. So that is pretty much it in terms of what my personal opinions are on the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10. It's a fantastic shoe that perhaps doesn't get the attention it deserves, even though most people do actually know it exists. So if you have any questions at all regarding the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10, leave them down below in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. I do have a playtest video on the Vapor 10 if you want to check that out. I'll leave an annotation on screen. And with that being said, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.